Hi guys! So today I just wanted to cover with you sort of the basics of what mental health is. So mental health just generally means being in a state of mind which makes you feel relaxed and make sure that your decisions that you make are well rounded and grounded, and you sort of have a feeling of sort of control, or just the ability to be in the moment without sort of panicking. You can go up and down throughout your life in different periods of mental health. Say if you newly had a child, you could have a huge peak of mental health and things are amazing, going really well when baby's in that stage of just sleep, eat, cry, sleep, eat, cry, sleep, eat, cry, sort of like the whole poop and burp type of thing. And then it gets a little bit more sort of weeks down the end and you get a little bit more tiresome because obviously the sleeping pattern changes, and that's when your mental health can then deteriorate. And then you get things like postnatal depression and things like that. And that's absolutely fine. Most mothers go through it. You can also have different mental health periods if you lose a loved one, be it a member of the family died or friend, or that a relationship is terminated, that you can flex, and it's really good just to have a self-awareness throughout your life, and that's the key to mental health. So mental health can lead to loads of different things, and we'll go into some more detail on those specific illnesses or problems in detail when I go into the different blogs. But on just over an overview, you get things like depression, you get anxiety, you get slightly more rarer things like schizophrenia, bipolar. You get things such as obviously prenatal depression. Some on the extreme you get things like suicidal thoughts, and it's just a feeling of being unable to have any groundedness within your life, and that things are just running away from you. But there are loads of different things that you can do for it, such as mindfulness. There's been a huge uprising in mindfulness, which is great. There's some brilliant apps out there that you can download. There's the Mind app itself, or there are the little quirky ones that help you sleep, meditation. Some of them are free. Most of them may be a little bit of a fee, but it's well worth the Spotify account type of thing. You're looking at like £10 a month to get good sleep, to have just a more stable mentality when making your day-to-day decisions in life. Other things just to be aware of is just noticing the people around you. So not only being aware of your mental health, but being aware of the people around you as well, and just sort of sinking in whether or not they're acting a little bit peculiar, whether they're more reserved than normal, whether or not they're having sort of outbursts of sobbing or anger, or they are eating more or eating less. And it's just having that sort of connectivity and that empathy towards someone, especially when they're your friend, to know what's a little bit out of the ordinary. So mental health is something which varies throughout your life. It can be something fixed as well. I have ADHD. A lot of people, it goes unnoticed, especially in women than it is to men. My cousin had it, or still has it, but had it more predominantly and as sort of out of control when he was younger, and men are more likely to be put on medication for it because it comes out in the testosterone, means that they act up a little bit more, they become a little bit more aggressive. With girls it becomes a little bit more reserved. It's like a snake in the grass. Sometimes it goes really unnoticed until you get into the situation where you are able to become diagnosed, or someone notices something which is a little bit out of the ordinary than just your normal naughty school kid. So those things are actually a chemical reaction in the brain, and it goes into this whole scientific study. ADHD is not about people being naughty. Kids with ADHD, it's not about them being stupid, it's not about them being naughty at all. It's about the brain receptors and how things are processed. If you have a little look at sort of the brain graphs and the brain scans of someone with ADHD being put a problem and someone without ADHD being put a problem, the chemicals given off in the brain are much different. And the contrast is actually really, really sort of eye-opening, that it isn't something that you should be ashamed of. It's an actual physiological problem as well as a mental health problem as well. So those things are sort of chemical in your genes. It's not going to change. And the same thing with things like depression. People are more prone to depression if it runs within the family. And sort of bipolar as well, is sometimes it can be, your chances are heightened if you have people in your family that suffer with mental health also. But that's nothing to be ashamed of. It means that actually you have the best person that you could possibly go to. You have family that you could turn to and say, look, I'm really, really struggling. I find like this when I'm at work, or I'm finding this part of my life. For me, I'm always shopping. It's an ADHD thing. I'm flitting from one thing to the next. I'm always in the shops, doing tiny little shops everywhere. I'm never structured enough to be able to be like, okay, this is what I'm going to get, and stop there. I just don't have that in me. And also my mental capacity to be able to concentrate on something is a lot shorter than normal people. No one's normal. And it just means that it takes a little bit longer. Oh my God, driving. Jeez. Driving was difficult, and still really is. It's something that you've just got to keep going with in life. It never goes away, especially when it's actually a chemical reaction such as ADHD. Depression, obviously there are other things that can be done about that. Therapy, bipolar, anxiety. All different forms of therapy are available to you, and I will go into that further when I discuss those individual mental health issues sort of in more detail. But just mental health as a whole, it's just having a connectivity about the way you feel as an individual, both emotionally and how you then portray yourself within life. So just keep grounded, just keep aware, and keep aware of the people around you, because who knows, they may be struggling with something that they can't even fathom to admit. And by you reaching out a hand and saying, is everything okay, they may open up to you. And that's the main thing when it comes to mental health. The more you open up, the less the problem is.